Welcome to the Top 1% Podcast, where we encompass more than just wealth creation, but actually creating a higher quality of life, creating a life by design, what we like to call it, working to be our best versions of ourselves. Today's subject is probably a hot topic right now, which is real estate, right? We've been buying real estate like crazy right now. We just bought and launched another Airbnb in 2023. People are telling us we're crazy with 7.5% interest rates,
Yeah,
right? But Braun, is right now a good time to be buying real estate?
I feel like that's a trick question sometimes
It is.
because you could get I could be you get answers all over the place or
Yeah.
demolished by the answer you give. But my personal opinion is you buy when you have the right deal and the numbers work. We had 7.5% interest on this deal we just closed, but the numbers work. With 7.5% interest, the numbers will give us an 18% cash on cash return. We buy. Right? If we are afraid of interest rates, then we will be afraid of something else somewhere else down the road that will prohibit us from actually purchasing real estate.
Hmm.
If the numbers work, I think you buy. And then you refinance when if the rates come down, great, we refinance. But if they don't come down, we're still okay
Yeah.
because we researched it well enough to have to get the right deal, which made sense.
The other thing I love about right now, we started buying Airbnbs 3 years ago, right? And started going down this journey of Airbnbs from the traditional way of single family homes and multifamily homes, which
Yeah.
we were doing before. And then the market shifted and changed. But 3 years ago, even a year and a half ago, when we were buying properties, I remember you could not even get a property on the MLS. There's maybe 10 or 15 good properties. And by the time you contact the agent about the property, it's already had 10 viewings and three offers over asking price, right?
Yeah.
I remember on one of ours, we made a full offer, full asking price offer, sight unseen,
Yeah.
to get this cabin, and with the act that we could go and actually walk the property before
Which
we went the
thankfully we
contract,
we did that.
and we were able to walk it and realize that it wasn't worth what we were paying for it.
Hmm.
But it was crazy that you had to do that, right? Full asking price, sight unseen, people were making offers on
And
these
that was only
properties.
how long ago?
That was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And so 2 years ago, you couldn't get a great property without multiple offers and paying above asking price, right? And it kind of felt like the Wild West, where you were just like shooting from the hip, didn't have time to thoroughly run the numbers and analyze the property. It was just a race to get your property. And you had to get really creative on how do you find your properties. We were contacting property managers to ask if they had off-market listings
Yeah.
or off-market people willing to sell. We were contacting people on social media if they're willing to rent out their property. We were contacting people on Airbnbs to see if they're willing to sell their property. We were trying to find off-market deals because if you were on the market or in the market, it was crazy. You couldn't get a good property.
Which all goes back to you have to have the right deal, right? But at the same time, if the interest rates are going to scare you, then offering too much over asking price is going to scare you. Then something else is going to scare
There's
you.
always going to be
It's
a
going to
hook.
be a reason why
You're
you
not
shouldn't
investing.
buy.
Correct.
I think you need to look at why should I buy,
Yes.
right? Rather than why, like, probably shouldn't buy right now.
Yep. And it all comes down to numbers. But this last property we bought, we weren't even looking for a property. Like we weren't really even considering
Yeah.
really
Well,
buying
you
another
just closed
property.
on one.
We just barely closed on a property, but we're always looking at deals. We're always ears on the ground. We're always putting out our feelers to realtors. Are there good deals and running numbers on properties? And as we're running these numbers, we had a deal that fell out of contract. The buyer got scared of the market, got scared of the interest rates, got scared of, everything that was happening with the economy. And uh and he decided to back out. He lost his earnest money, and investors like us were able to come in and get a property with a scared builder. Okay, this builder had 12 properties listed. He has buyers falling out. He is now in a position to sell this and get rid of these properties, right? He did not know what was coming. He did not know what the market was bringing. We got this property almost $400,000 under what the guy had it under contract. So immediately we buy this property, we get to walk it, we get to analyze it, we get to crunch the numbers on it, we get to take our time, we get to make an offer on this property. We made an offer under asking price and did some counter offers, include bunk beds, include building out this deck, include this hot tub, include this stuff. And we got most of what we asked for with this offer, plus the equity that we got. Shortly after we closed, two properties next to us just sold for $300,000, $400,000 more than what we paid for it. So we've already won with buying a great deal. The numbers still made sense. We still knew that we were going to get the rents. We still knew that we are going to cash flow, even though it's at a higher interest rate. It's not going to be as good as cash flows as before. But we won when we purchased that property because we're in a great equity position right now. But right now, you can be picky about the homes that you're buying or the properties that you're buying. You can analyze them.
Yeah.
You can make an offering probably 20 to 25% under asking price and have a counter offer and go back and forth on your deal, which I promise you, like they've already been talking about this. When interest rates come down to under 6%, there's going to be another million buyers come to the market again. When it gets under 5%, there's going to be 3.5 more million buyers come to the market again. If we get close to 4%, there will be 7 million buyers in the market again, and you will never have this window of opportunity again. So to answer your question, is right now a good time to buy real estate? Absolutely. I love this time to be buying real estate because we're not competing with anybody and we're not scared of the returns we're going to get right now because we know we're going to refinance when interest rates come back down. And if we never refinance it, the number still makes sense for us right now.
So basically, don't shy away from the market and the real estate market. Just make sure the deal makes sense. But then the real question is how do you make sure that the deal makes sense?
Yeah.
All right.
There's a numbers game.
It is always a numbers game. How would someone go about doing that? Wink,
So,
wink.
right. So obviously we have our own calculator.
Yeah.
We have a formula that we've created that we have on our website at top1percenter.com that people can actually purchase from us. But it's our own algorithm. It's our own study that you can plug in the numbers of I'm buying the property at this rate and at this interest rate, at this price. These are my expenses. Does this pencil out? And you need to have buyer's confidence going into a deal. And there's no way you can have that confidence if you don't have the numbers in front of you. And we've made this possible for everybody to have these numbers and to plug in these numbers and know that this is a good deal or a deal I should walk from right now. And so go to top1percenter.com and you can see our T1P calculator.
Crazy thing is you can get that info so dang fast.
Yeah.
You can you get an offer or you look at a real estate deal. Does that make sense? Plug that in, numbers here, boom, spit it out. And you know, yes or no, whether you to make an offer on that deal or not.
Yep. And you can't just be looking at one property once a year. You got to be actively shopping and running numbers on hundreds of properties. So when you see a great deal, you can recognize it, right?
Yeah.
When we saw this property this year, immediately when I saw the property and the asking price, I knew it was a great deal.
We didn't have to really plug that one in because it was
We didn't have to
so
plug it in.
clear.
We already knew the numbers. That's it for this podcast. Tune in for next time. We're going to keep giving you nuggets like this.